Good evening, guys. Today we are solving a new set of problem on binary tree, and I'm hoping that this week they are going to give questions on binary tree, and this is a medium level problem on binary tree. So this problem is all about serialization and deserialization. So if you don't know the concept of serialization and deserialization, I'm just going to briefly brief you. So what serialization does is it takes a tree and returns an array. So for example, if this is a tree is what? A binary tree. It's like subdivided into roots and nodes. And like 1, 2, and 3 is a tree, and the tree will be returned as an output, will be returned as an array or an array, right? So, and deserializes does is it deserializes the array to tree and returns the root of the tree. So deserializes does what is it deserializes, it does the reverse thing of serialization, as you know, that we have to just take the array and then convert it into a tree. Okay, so first what we can check is that there's a driver function, the node class is being created, and then they are also taking node from the user. We are using a queue data structure even over here. So you know the concept of linked list has been used over here. So the driver class is pretty big, and driver class is, there's also delete node, delete tree, print in order, okay, and all those things are there. And then there's a main method which is also pretty long. So you can see the driver codes is very big. So thank God we don't have to do anything like the main function and all, because then it would be a really complicated job. So first we can see that we have a tree class over here. It is taking the function serialization. So in the function serialization, it does is serializes a tree and list and return a list, means it converts into an array. So what I can code over here is my first job is to create an array list. Okay, because since I'm going to return an array list, so I will create an array list. Okay, so array list of type integer, and array list of type integer will be array list of new array list. So I've created an ABC, which is the type, which is the array list we will store. Okay, so now we are going to create a serialize helper, so which is going to serialize or use recursion to serialize, or use recursion to put the elements from the tree into the array list, right? So we can write like this: serialize helper. Okay, serialize helper, and in that parameter what we can pass is the root, and we can pass is the list. So the list name is ABC, right? So once they serialized, we will return this particular thing. Yeah, so this is the serialize. Okay, and for the serialize helper function, we can write like this as private void serialize. I will take the name over here, Control C, and just use the name over here. So private void serialize helper I have used. So in the serialize helper, what you know that I'm going to pass a node comma an array list of integer type, say ABC. So I'm passing a node and an array list. Now I'm going to check if the node equals to null. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in this particular thing, right? So what I can do is add ABC dot I will add the list name of the list is mine list is ABC, right over here. Yes, so in the list I can do is I can add the ABC dot add, and I can add the node. So node, yeah. So once I've added the node over here, this is the null condition, this will add it, and then it will return the null array if it is null at all, means if there is no existence of elements. So while we are thinking of the different situation, the situation can be dealt as recursively. We have to add the elements. So in order to add recursively, what we are going to do is we are going to call the serialize helper multiple times. So primary concept of recursion is call the serialize helper multiple times. So when we are calling the serialize helper multiple times, we are going to first serialize first abc dot add uh, node.data, which will store the current data of that list. And now we are going to add node.left and abc. Similarly, node.right.abc. So first we have to add the left and then we have to add the right node. So this is the private void serialize. Similarly, we have to design a deserialize. So when you can see there is a deserialize already given over here, there's a deserialize which is already given over here. In deserialize, what I can do is I can check the null conditions, right? So I can do is let me remove this again. Yeah. So if in the deserialize, so I have to check. So if a, since the list name is a, so if a equals to null or the a dot size. Why I'm taking a over here? Because the a is the name of our array list over here of integer data type. So of the a dot size we can check is 0. So these are the base case. So in the base case, what we are going to return is return null. Like for serialization also we have returned in the base case. You can see we have already done a base case over here. Similarly, we are going to return null just to be sure. And once we are returning runs, we can write deserialize helper. So we just take this name, yeah, and deserialized helper. I can pass an array list over here, and yeah. So this is the little code. This is a little code over here which just deserializes an array. So now this deserialize list I have to make, right? So I will write like this public private void. No, this is returning a node. So you have to be very sure that first thing was returning an array. So I was taking it as void, but now I have to return a node. So in case of returning a node, I have to take that return type as return node, and then I have to take this name of the function over here. So return node deserialize helper, and in that node I will pass a list which is converted into a node, right? So I will pass an array list of integer type say a, and then I will solve it. So how I'm going to do, again I'm going to use recursions, but before using recursions I'm going to check the base case. So if the index, so for index I have to take a global variable over here. A global variable can be taken in the top as well. So I will, for your understanding, private int index equals to 0. So I can write over here if the index is greater than equals to the a dot size or a dot get index a dot get index equals to null, then index plus plus return null. So I've made the if condition over here. Now I'm going to create a node. So node equals to new node of a dot get index plus plus node dot left equals to, I will recursively call this function deserialize helper. So I will just take deserialize helper node dot right equals to again deserialize helper, and in the deserialize helper I will pass the array list. Similarly, I will pass the array list over here as well, and lastly I'm going to return the node, because we have said that deserialized returns the root of the node. So the root of the node is being calculated using this left node, right node, and finally return the node. Yeah, if return the node, this is the void function, this is the main function. Yeah, so let's just check the spelling and all those things. Deserialize I have taken over here. Okay, node root, ArrayList I have taken, defined a new ArrayList, defined ArrayList just abc, serialized a helper root. Okay, and serialize, we have returned the serialize function. Okay, serialize helper, we have taken uh, a root and an array list. Okay, added serialize helper abc. Okay, for deserialize you have taken an array list again in the parameter, check the base cases and call the function. The function is being made over here. So in this function, if the index is greater than 0, okay, or null, then we will update the index and return null. Lastly, we are defining a node, and the node size is of a.getIndex plus plus. Okay, okay, and done. So let's compile. It is saying cannot find symbol, return serialize. Return serialize. We have to return ABC. ABC. And node equals to null. abc.add node cannot be converted into integer. Okay, so we have taken some changes. What we have taken is class tree we have created, and index we have taken. Then we have to make an array list. We have to use the serialize helper over here and a deserialize helper, and the variables have to be named properly, and deserialize helper, which is a deserialize is calling the deserialize helper. So you can see I have clearly taken the functions properly, and this is the code for it. I'm going to submit. So yeah, be very clear with the concept of ArrayList. So we have successfully completed 78 days of GeekForGeeks POTD challenge. Looking forward to solve more problems. Thank you.